It's day 3 of the challenge, Sunday. The windows don't open fully because of a cord. And currently it is actually raining, but it's not too bad out there at the minute. It's the home stretch today. Oh, new sticker on the back of the Smart. Not only has the Smart gained a new sticker, so has the Seat. We did actually have a Mantis one down there from Guardians of the Galaxy, but that seems to have blown off at some point. There we go. We've got Captain America, Black Widow and Falcon. Well, we've got a sticker just here, an Avengers one. Thor's up here on the brake lights. More a made in Spain sticker, which is the wrong way up. Oh look, we've got Baby Groot in the passenger door mirror. We got any others? Yep, we got one. It's Hulk down here on the number plate. Oh, and we've got another one just up here on the windscreen. I'm pretty sure this is Louise's doing. But she's been very busy with the stickers this morning, evidently, because they definitely weren't there last night. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, on the Daihatsu. Spider-Man.
1, 2, 3.
3 on the front of the Daihatsu. We got Vision in the passenger door mirror.
I'm on there. We've got Hulk and Spider-Man.
Gosh, they're everywhere. There's another one there, Avengers, just up there next to the Fuel Power 1000 sticker. And for some reason Martin Freeman on the back of the car. And the Smart severely lacking. We found Kaz this morning. A wild Kaz has appeared. And now we're trying to find a Matt and Louise.
And a Joe.
And a Joe, he might be here. He might sit in his room.
I think there's a button. I just didn't press it.
After all that. Well, they're in the over 18s area. We found a Matt. Day 3 begins. It is now 20 to 10 and we are underway. We're following the rather stickered up Daihatsu this morning, so they're leading us to a Morrison's to fill up because motorway service prices for fuel, not exactly ideal. Yeah, 176.9 for petrol there. Normal services seem to be about 146 roughly, if I had to put a number to it, which is considerably cheaper per litre. It all adds up in a long road trip. But yes, today we are heading south. We're on yet another motorway, but it does serve a purpose. Of course, motorway is great because it means you can cover a lot of distance in a short amount of time. We've got a route that's got A roads planned for much later on in the day. But right now we're heading towards the V8 Cafe in Lincolnshire, somewhere near Spalding, I think it is. And again, all 3 cars running nicely.
Whilst the Scottish leg of our trip had allowed us to be more touristy, today was about hitting the road and heading for home. We still had 309 miles yet to cover to hit our 1,000-mile target, which meant that our route home wouldn't exactly be direct, which is why we were heading for Lincolnshire.
It didn't take long for us to find a petrol station with non-motorway pricing, but the small car decided to have a small problem when we got there.
We seem to be having a few problems with the filler cap on the Smart car this morning.
The Smart's had enough, it doesn't want to be fueled up anymore.
What about the other side?
Eventually, the Smart accepted its drink, and with all 3 cars having had their fill, the tanks were brimmed and we set off, aiming for Spalding.
The motorways, whilst necessary to make swift progress, became very boring very quickly, and it wasn't long until we decided to venture onto some single carriageway roads which, whilst slower, would be considerably more scenic and enjoyable.
Things were going pretty well. We were ahead of schedule. The atmosphere in the cars was relaxed and the scenery, whilst mostly flat, was lovely. A quick toilet break was needed en route, and as we got moving once more, we discovered that it was actually a worthwhile stop. Just minutes after we'd called in the services, we hit an almighty queue of traffic that would slow our progress dramatically. At this point we're about half an hour behind schedule because something's been holding up traffic on this road and we have no idea what as of yet. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. But what you're seeing here is actually the largest break in traffic we've had in the last, 25 minutes, half hour or so. Either way, all three cars still going. Everyone's having a bit of a dance, a bit of a sing-song whilst they're waiting in traffic, so could be worse. It wasn't until after our trip was complete that we found out that that particular Sunday was the day a huge piece of the upcoming Viking Link project was set to move along the roads of Lincolnshire to Bicker Fen substation. Very slowly. In fact, it was 15 miles an hour. The link is there, however, to exchange DC energy between Great Britain and Denmark along a series of onshore and offshore cables, which will travel for 765 kilometres between the two countries.
Eventually though, we arrived at the V8 later than expected and also very hungry.
So we've just stopped for lunch at the V8 Cafe in Lincolnshire. They've got quite a nice menu actually. The food's certainly very filling.
Yes, it's very American diner style, but it's good.
Yeah, they've got some really cool stuff in there, like the tables, they're all fiberglass built. They're done in the shape of cars, like they got Fiat 500s, they got Minis, they got various American vehicles, they even got a Renault van.
It's very cool.
So yeah, definitely worth a visit if you're in this area and you're just looking for a quick lunch stop, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's like just behind a spa shop, so it's not a standalone place.
And there's petrol just somewhere in that
Yeah.
direction. In fact, Louise and Joe have actually just gone to go and get petrol for the smart car for about the 100 millionth time. At this point it is, just looking at my phone up here, 10 past 3. We've currently done in total 840 miles exactly. We need obviously another 160 miles until we obviously hit 1,000. The route that we're going is 159 miles, so obviously just a bit short. But yeah, we'll find a way of adding on that extra mile. 1 mile is not too difficult to actually add on.
I think as well, because of everybody else's detour yesterday, they're going to get there quicker than we are. But we're going to take ours as the official 1,000. So
yes, because we're the fuel power people.
But also because we've done the least, so it's that thing of you're as slowest as your.
Well, we shouldn't complain about the sunshine, but it is quite glaring in here at the moment. But here's a quick update for you from Team Green. We've just finished lunch about an hour and a half behind schedule in Lincolnshire. Traffic has been horrendous.
In a quarter of a mile at the roundabout.
We were stuck behind a wide load that looked like it got stuck on a level crossing. It delayed everything for about an hour, possibly more. And now we've left the lunch stop and we're heading west now, behind one of the slowest lorries we've ever been behind, and there's no opportunity to overtake. So this could be quite challenging for us today. We would like to get home at some point this evening, but we'll have to see. Oh, excellent, the lorry's turning off. Fantastic. That's all good. So yeah, it's going all right for Team Green. The car is running pretty well. It behaved itself well, sat in traffic for ages. In fact, all three cars did as well. There's no overheating, thankfully. I'm just glad I changed that water pump before we set off. Yeah, the car's going well. Economy is fantastic. We're nudging 50 to the gallon. Barely needing to fill up, if I'm honest. Unlike the Smart, which has to stop every 100 or so miles because its tank is so small. Other than that, yeah, we're going okay. Hopefully we'll be home by about 8 o'clock tonight. It shouldn't be too bad. Most of us are going to work tomorrow, so it'd be nice to get back.
We had taken the lead for the next leg of the journey to ensure that our little Seat would hit the 1,000-mile target, which, for the first time on this trip, meant that Green and Blue Team had very little idea on where we were headed. But whilst everyone had thoughts of getting home that evening, Matt had other things on his mind.
Let's have a chat with you about snacks, because that's one Favourites, Kaz, a couple of favourites from you?
Well, oh my god, well, mint humbugs.
Mint humbugs, excellent.
Mint humbugs.
Werthers?
Oh yeah, got me Werthers.
Werthers originals, yeah. It's pretty in keeping with the type of car that we've got here.
Yeah.
I brought along some snacks from Europe. What have we got here? We've got some jumpies. So these are a paprika flavoured snack. I don't know why we don't get more paprika flavoured snacks in the UK. It's a great flavour, just takes the edge off a plain snack. These are mix-ups. I think we can get mix-ups in the UK as well, but in slightly different flavours. These ones are cheese, and when I say cheese, I mean French cheese. They are really feety cheesy. Impressive snacks those. Hammond cheese. I don't know, they're a bit like knick-knacks, I guess, sort of crunchy sticks. Woody style ones. Yeah, they're pretty good. We like those. And then top of the crop actually is these ones. These are Belline crackers. Now these are Emmental flavoured crackers. We get these in France on a regular basis. They're just a really nice light cracker, cheesy flavour.
They're like Ritz with cheese.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, so we love these ones. So we'll be having more of those as we go. I've got one box left. That's enough for the next 2 hours.
It didn't take long for us to get back to an area we were familiar with, the Cotswolds. And as evening began to descend, we realised that we would still be short of the target, so we took a brief detour to add those all-important few miles and decided to make one final stop.
So it is currently 6:15 on Sunday. We are 60 miles out from the final point, and we are heading through the very beautiful Cotswolds. The sun is setting. We have managed to maintain our convoy, although we have lost them a little bit because there was a hill. And we are heading for a quick, hopefully, photo stop at Diddley Scott Farm. Whether we get that or not, don't know. Depends on how much space there is just to put in at the entrance. And then we'll be on the final bit. We've had one toilet stop back up in Toaster, but we are very nearly there, and it's quite exciting. But I have put a picture up on Twitter and said, like, it's going to be a bit strange to see, like, these guys, like, not see these guys again.
As it turned out, the farm car park was open. The quick stop at Diddley Squat Farm allowed us to stretch our legs and get a few photos for our social media pages before hitting the road once more for the final hour of our journey. And as we were leaving the Cotswolds, we thought we'd check in with the other teams before discussing our little car.
So we are in the final hour and the last 50 miles. How are we all feeling?
Tired?
General consensus is sleepy in this one too, so nearly there.
But overall, how would you sum up your thoughts on our little £950 purchase?
Might be the car that was broken down on the side of the
I
road.
was going to say, I think
Yeah, I think so.
sorry, I got distracted. The car has been fantastic. He's taken us all the way to Scotland and back again via Wales, no problems. Held all the stuff in the back that we needed it to. And I think that's the other point to sort of say before it gets particularly dark and we can't be seen, is you know, there's all very well packing, and it's important to mention, I suppose, in this kind of video when we're raising money for Crohn's and colitis and that particular charity, is that one of the things and the factors that I'm assuming probably a few people use, and one of the things that Jake uses as a technique to keep him, you know, assured that there is always something somewhere to use the toilet, is to bring one with you. So part of the back of the car has a, what are they called, like chemical toilet, like a camping toilet.
Yeah.
And you know, we've been with great company this particular run, which has meant that we have had to stop, and actually more for other people than anybody than us. Just, you know, just to stop at services, and we've frequented a few McDonald's, Burger Kings, whatever. But it's something that another consideration, I suppose, would be something to say. And there has been absolutely nothing wrong with the car. You might have been able to hear it rattling in the back of the some of the clips, but it's back there and it's managed to stay there, and all of our other stuff is all around it.
I think the rattling might actually be some of our stuff in the back, to be perfectly honest.
The lid goes a bit sometimes. But I think with everything that we've needed, toilet included, it's been perfect. Obviously we couldn't have people in the back because there is stuff everywhere, but for 2 people it's been great.
Yeah, 2 people for 1,000 miles, yes.
But yeah, it's been fantastic. How about you? What do you think from a more mechanical perspective, because that's where your brain is wired?
Well, looking at the car mechanically, over the whole journey we haven't had to put any oil in at all. Coolant's been perfectly fine. Washer fluid, obviously, check that before we set off, and we haven't used it that much, to be perfectly honest.
It doesn't need it.
I thought we might have done a bit more given the time of year, but actually it's not been too bad really this weekend.
It's been very springy actually this weekend.
It has been, especially yesterday and today. It's been absolutely amazing. But overall, yeah, the car's been absolutely fine. Gearbox is fine. The clutch is a little bit squeaky, although I will admit it's
got better.
It's stopped doing it quite so much whilst we've been driving it, so maybe it's a lack of use.
Yeah, sat still for too long.
I don't know. But overall, it's a very nice little car, and in a way I do kind of not want to get rid of it. As you know, I get more sentimental over cars than you do.
We'll take the memories.
But yeah, I do like this one. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, and think of it this way then, in that sense, somebody, maybe even a subscriber, will end up having this car, and it will do them really, really well. We know that it can do 1,000 miles. We know that it can do a good job at that 1,000 miles. So who's to say it couldn't do them a good job?
With the Smart, that started off as a bit of a running joke that, oh, it's not going to make it, because initially when Louise bought it was puffing out a bit of smoke. But since she's had a look over it properly, and I think she reattached some pipes or something, it's been perfectly fine. There's a car without any lights moving, and it's black. So yeah, smart move there. But overall, really, at the minute, I'm generally very pleased with all 3 cars. They've all done a really good job, considering I suspect the Daihatsu is probably going to go for scrap or something.
Well, that's the thing, it's all about rescuing these cars, actually, that they might not be worth it to someone, but these would be perfect. Any of them would be perfect first cars, provided that, you know, you weren't overly bothered about what they look like.
As we left the Cotswolds, headed for Swindon, we got one striking parting gift. We were treated to a phenomenal sunset that felt like the sky itself was spurring us on to the finish. And as evening turned into night, we found ourselves on the M4 once more, aiming for Chippenham services. Even with our detour to Clarkson's farm, we still didn't have quite enough distance under our belts to hit 1,000 miles. So, twice we went around the roundabout outside the services, and finally, our mission was complete.
That's it. We've just pulled into a BP services in Chippenham, and We've done it. 1,000 miles in 3 days.
In a 1 litre car.
Yes.
Phew, that was a
How do you
road
feel?
trip. Tired.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus, is everybody feels quite tired. And we're very ready for our own beds, I think. But the car's done well. We've done well. And I think it's time to go home.
Yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a long 3 days.
It has been a long 3 days. But we've done it. And we have ticked over the £600 mark on the Just Giving page as well, which is fantastic. And yeah, I think we're all a little bit done. I think Louise and Joe have just filled up for petrol, and we've lost Matt to a different point in the service station. So we'll go and find him now.
So we made it.
We have 1,000 miles done. Unfortunately, our interior lights are not the best, so it's not. You can't see Joe's face. You can't see how happy he is that we've made it to the end of the challenge.
I think it's been an amazing 3 days, challenging 3 days. I think the car has exceeded our expectations, which were very low.
We didn't expect much of a smart car.
We had a lot of trepidation before we started on Friday
Yeah.
night, but I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think it's the most challenging car we could have picked. Wow, certainly up there. I think it's not the obvious choice. We certainly chose a bit of a curveball car.
I think it surprised me because it handles quite well. And once it gets up to speed, it's quite a nice little cruiser.
It cruises along really lovely. Its pickup is shocking. You put your foot on the pedal, it thinks about it for a little while, and then suddenly it just bursts into life.
I do wonder if that is specific to
This particular car.
Because it does have a little bit of a noise, which probably
It
needs
does
to
make
look
some
into.
interesting
Yeah,
noises.
yeah. But it's been a really good car for it. I think it's had enough space for what we needed it for. I don't think I'd want to do any more miles in it today.
Well, we have to. We've got to drive back to Bristol. But yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't want to do any more than.
I like it so much that I'm actually thinking about buying it after the challenge.
Yeah, so it's quite likely that what happens to this car is that Joe buys it, and then sometimes he can drive me to work.
Also. But yeah, the car's good.
But yeah, this whole weekend's been great fun. It's been great fun doing it with the other guys. Their cars they were more obvious choices, and there's nothing wrong with them at all. I like them all. I think they're all valuable choices and shown a good sort of range of cars. And I don't think any one of them is a really obvious car, like straight out of the hat to buy.
No.
So that's really cool, and I think we've given them all quite a good
Evaluation?
I
think the other two cars are kind of in the same class, and we set out this challenge. We want something a little bit different.
Yeah, we decided to get a city car for a long distance drive.
Yeah.
Which isn't the obvious thing to do, but
We've since discovered that driving to Scotland back, there aren't many smart cars in the motorway. In fact, we haven't seen one.
We haven't seen any smart cars driving. We've seen 2 smart cars parked in garages.
Garages in small towns. Yeah, it's been great. Thank you to Jake, Genevieve, Matt and Kaz.
Yeah, thank you for organising it, and really tough to have been involved in the challenge, and hopefully we can do so again soon.
Yeah.
We have finished. It is 7:15. We've done 1,019 miles ourselves, slightly more than Jake and Genevieve because we had a bit of a loop around Edinburgh that we didn't expect to do, but that's fine. So, time to sum up. How's the car been, Kaz? You've been driving for the majority today.
Very nice. Yeah, it's coped really well on the motorways and on the twisties.
We're used to driving little minis, old minis, so we're kind of used to a car with not much power and know how to negotiate long hills and things, so that helps as well. And we've done a lot of long journeys between us. I'm really happy with the Daihatsu. The seats are great, actually. I do suffer from back pain, but I haven't got anything, which is great. Yeah, it's been great. The 6 cup holders have proved useful. The snack shelf has proved useful. We've done an average of 47 to the gallon, which we really can't complain with. It's been great. What an achievement, and watching the numbers go up on the charity donations has been fantastic. The only thing left for us is we've got about an hour's drive back from here now, so there's a little bit more mileage to add on again, but as I said, Daihatsu's been great, so hopefully we'll be fine. And what about your toilet reviews, Kaz?
Well, I had a bit of a mixture. I've had some really nice ones, some really terrible ones. I didn't get as far as reviewing any bushes, but you know, there's plenty of rubbish on the side of the road that you could have used, but there we go.
We'll get all the comments from the various toilet stops. They're all on a table. We'll get them published somehow on the internet, which would be great fun. But otherwise, it's been brilliant. It's been great company. Certainly worth the effort. I think we're all going to be knackered for work tomorrow, but we'll just live on this for a while now. It's been very enjoyable indeed. So yeah, thanks for the donations. If you still haven't donated, please do so. That would be great. We'd love to hit the £1,000 by next week if we can. And yeah, fun. It's just brilliant. Thank you very much.